Haiden Deegan is making his 450 outdoor debut in 2026. Jett Lawrence is the two-time 450 outdoor champion 2023 and 2025, and widely considered the hardest rider to beat in the sport right now. Fans are already framing this as a rivalry, asking one question: can Deegan beat him? It's a simple question with a complicated answer, because the way most people are asking it, can Deegan beat Jett, yes or no, misses the entire point of what a 450 rookie season actually is. This is not about whether Deegan has talent or Jett is unbeatable. It's about understanding what beating Jett even means in year one, and whether that's a realistic expectation for anyone making the jump to the premier class. The hype around this matchup is massive. Deegan's coming off back-to-back 250 outdoor titles and a 250 supercross championship. He's the most talked about rider in the sport. Jett's the reigning champion, widely considered the most complete outdoor rider right now. Fans see two dominant forces and assume immediate collision. Before we talk about whether Deegan can beat Jett, we need to define what beating Jett actually means, because there are levels to this and most fans mix them together without understanding the difference. Beating Jett in a moto is one thing. That's 35 minutes of racing where anything can happen. Mistakes, traffic, mechanical issues, track conditions. A moto win is absolutely possible for a talented rookie on the right day. It happens. It's happened to every champion at some point. Beating Jett for an overall is harder. That means outperforming him across two motos in one day. You either win both motos, or you win one so dominantly that a second-place finish in the other still gives you more points. That requires consistency and the ability to execute twice under pressure. For a rookie learning the bike and the class, that's a significantly taller order. Fighting Jett for a championship is a different level entirely. That's 12 rounds, 24 motos, sustained performance across varied tracks and conditions, managing injuries and fatigue, avoiding mistakes that cost you points you can't get back. Championship-level racing isn't about peak speed, but about maintaining that speed while managing risk, staying healthy, and not giving away points on bad days. Rookies rarely do that well, even elite ones. And then there's replacing Jett as the dominant force, becoming the guy everyone else has to beat. That's not about one season. That's about establishing yourself as the standard, the rider who dictates the pace and strategy of the entire class. That takes years. Now let's talk about the 450 class itself, because this is where expectations need to be grounded in reality. The 450 outdoor bike is not just a bigger 250, it's a different machine that demands a different approach. The bike weighs about 20 pounds more, roughly 240 pounds ready to race. That doesn't sound like much until you're wrestling it through a blown-out rut section at lap 15 when your forearms are screaming. The power delivery is broader, more linear, and less forgiving. On a 250, you can get away with being aggressive on the throttle because the bike responds quickly and you can modulate with the clutch. On a 450, if you whack it open in the wrong gear at the wrong time, the rear either hooks up hard or breaks loose entirely. Learning to manage that power while maintaining speed takes time. The fitness component is exponentially harder. A 30-minute +2 moto on a 450 is a different level of suffering than the same distance on a 250. The bike fights you more. The suspension loads differently. The weight distribution changes how you attack sections. Riders who've spent years training for 250 pace have to recalibrate everything: heart rate zones, breathing rhythm, muscle endurance. Even if your fitness is elite, applying it to 450 outdoor racing is a new equation. And then there's the mental side. Outdoors is a grind. You have 35 minutes to manage your pace, recover from mistakes, hunt down riders, and execute a strategy that spans an entire moto. History backs this up. First-year 450 struggles are normal, even for legends. James Stewart moved to the 450 class in 2005 and struggled with crashes and inconsistency for 3 years before putting together his perfect 2008 season. Ryan Villopoto took time to find his championship form. The pattern is consistent across multiple eras. The jump to 450 outdoors humbles everyone regardless of talent, because the class is unforgiving and the competition is stacked with riders who've been doing this for years. Cooper Webb talked about this recently on the Gypsy Tales podcast, and his perspective reinforces what the numbers already show. Webb trains with Deegan daily, and he's raced against Jett at his peak. His take? Deegan has every attribute of a champion. He hates to lose, he's not scared to work, and he's not scared to learn and adapt. But the 450 transition is brutal. It was a challenge for Stewart, for Villopoto, and it was a huge challenge for Webb himself. Webb's advice is simple: give him grace. He doesn't believe Deegan will dominate in year one, though he's quick to add that Deegan fully can because he has every tool necessary. The attributes are there, the work ethic is there, the team and resources are there. What's not there yet is time on the bike and experience in the class. Webb also emphasizes that outdoors is where Deegan's strengths show best. Deegan has that special outdoor gnarliness, the ability to push through rough conditions, the willingness to suffer, the comfort in chaos. That's where his window exists. Outdoors rewards grit and aggression in ways that supercross doesn't, and Deegan's style is built for that environment. Add in the fact that Deegan's schedule is smart. Supercross West first gives him the East Coast block to test the 450 and prepare for outdoors while his competitors are deep into a 17-round Supercross season. And you can see how he's positioned to make an early impact. But even with all of that, there's still Jett Lawrence. Jett is the two-time 450 outdoor champion, 2023 and 2025, and the three-time Super Motocross champion. He's 22 years old, turning 23 in 2026. He's physically peaked, mentally confident, and racing at a level that forces everyone else to adjust to him. His consistency is what separates him from everyone else. He doesn't need to win every moto to win championships. He's comfortable finishing second if it means avoiding a crash. He doesn't get baited into battles that aren't worth the risk. He's patient, calculated, and when he makes a move, it's clean and final. Jett's race IQ is elite. He knows when to push, when to manage, and when to bank points. He doesn't make the mistakes that other riders make under pressure. He stays calm in pressure and adapts mid-moto. And his bike setup is dialed. He's been on the 450 full-time since 2023. He knows what the bike needs at every track, in every condition. That's an advantage that can't be replicated in a single off-season. Cooper Webb said it plainly: if Jett stays healthy, he's the hardest person to beat that Webb has ever raced. That's not hyperbole. Webb has raced Tomac, Roxen, and Sexton. He's been in the thick of this era, and his assessment is that Jett, when healthy and confident, is the toughest opponent he's faced. Even great riders don't beat prime Jett by accident. It takes sustained excellence, mistake-free racing, and usually it takes Jett having an off day. That's the reality of racing against the best rider of this generation. So here's the real answer to the question: can Deegan beat Jett in 2026? Can Deegan beat Jett in a moto? Yes, Deegan's speed is real. On the right day, on a rough track with everything clicking, Deegan could absolutely win a moto. Maybe more than one. Moto wins are possible for any elite rider, and Deegan is elite. Can he beat Jett for an overall? Possible, but harder. Winning an overall means executing twice in one day. That's a tall order against the most consistent rider in the sport. Is immediate dominance realistic? No. The 450 transition is real. Even if Deegan is talented enough to win races early, sustaining that over 12 rounds, while learning the bike, managing fitness, avoiding mistakes, and racing against Jett, Sexton, Hunter Lawrence, and a field of veterans is a different challenge. History says rookies don't dominate, even when they're future champions. The learning curve is steep, and the class doesn't give anyone a grace period. Does that limit Deegan's long-term ceiling? Absolutely not. Deegan has the tools to be a multi-time 450 champion. The work ethic is there, the mental makeup is there, the outdoor skill set is there. Whether that starts in 2026 or takes until 2027 or 2028 doesn't change the trajectory. First-year results don't define careers. They never have. The real test isn't whether Deegan beats Jett immediately. The real test is whether he survives the 450 transition without losing what makes him dangerous: the aggression, the intensity, the willingness to push when it's uncomfortable. If he can stay healthy, stay motivated, and keep learning without getting discouraged by early losses, the wins will come, the championships will come, but the process matters more than the timeline. Let us know what you think about Deegan moving to the 450 class for outdoor. Jett's the benchmark, Deegan's the challenge, and 2026 is the begtanning of that story, not the end. And if you want to understand how fragile talent really is in this sport, how raw ability alone doesn't guarantee anything, the next story is the perfect contrast. Jett Lawrence had speed that scared everyone and lost it all. That story is next.